Howdy there, cowpokes. This is Scott Grove, Dr. Groovy of GroovyMusicLessons.com, here today to basically get you guys out of some ruts. Real quick, gotta always show the infamous collection of shirts. That's right, haters make me famous. I know I've worn it before, but hey, nothing says the truth more than a quality t-shirt. Okay, so I'm just using the old acoustic guitar today, and I'm just going to bring back good old licks from years gone by. I know a lot of you won't be checking out videos from 7 or 8 years ago. Why you don't, I have no idea, but 98% of you don't. So I can bring them back just like they're new, add some new stuff, and play some other stuff backwards and get you guys out of your ruts. These type of licks here are going to be for everything you could possibly do. I'm just going to throw different keys out there, throw different little licks that you could toss in there. This is going to be mainly for the rhythm players who can throw in some snazzy ass stuff really quickly, and stuff you may have not have thought of. And my mind is just bizarre enough to really come up with some cool stuff. Again, I am a country boy through and through. It doesn't matter if you think this is going to be a hick lesson. Doesn't matter. It's guitar. Okay, so there are plenty of golden nuggets here for everybody of that digs every genre out there to pick up something here. Okay. Again, I'm doing it on acoustic to try to make it a little less apparent what I'm tossing out here. But then again, just licks or rhythms or what have you, these are things just to get your brain unstuck, or again, if you're in a rut, hopefully some of these will get you out. Alright, I'll shut the hell up. I know that's not possible, but here we go. Let's say, heck, we're going to do all kinds of keys. Let's just start with good old E. Okay, if you're in tune with that, you're good to go. And for anybody who's ever talking to me about elixir strings and talking about how they always get all kinds of fraying and all kinds of weird tampon strings hanging off of their guitar strings when they're playing, again, this guitar was made special for me, this Rain Song. Quite a while back now. Elixirs on it, brand spanking new, still the exact same set. Not one single sign of any of this fraying junk that you guys get from not playing correctly. I have videos on how you should play correctly, because if you are tearing these strings up to the point where it looks like a fiddle bow, where things are just hanging down off your stuff, you're playing wrong. Either that, or you just, you don't deserve these kind of strings. Yeah, that's a dig at some of you folks. Okay, the key of E. Simple, simple, simple. If you're doing just your E stuff, and again, I'm going the cowboy route, you do whatever the heck you want. Okay, if I'm playing an E and I'm trucking along, okay, there is always if you guys don't know that, very easy. I'm going to fly through these because it takes forever to convert and upload these HD things. Okay, so you got E, or as much of the E as you want. You could do the two middle strings, I don't care. Just lift up your middle finger, or your first finger, I'm sorry, and put it back down, first fret, G string. Then you're going to drop your two fingers like they're glued together that are on the A and D string down to the D and G string, second fret. Okay, that's the rhythm. Okay, and of course you can always do the Okay. very basic one, but when you're coming down off of this kind of thing and you want to put in just some lead sounding stuff without getting fancy at all, and it's still double stops, meaning you have at least 2 strings going at one time, there are some dissonant things that are very cool to use. And this would be going, we're going to use open string, open E string. Here we're going to fret on the B, 5th fret, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st, and open. Secret Asian man. I thought for the longest time it said Secret Asian man. Okay, anyway. Okay, this is bringing you back down to your E chord. But you can also do the part that I like the best, which is going to the B string open. We're just going up another set of strings. So B string open this time. We're going 4th fret on the G. And what is called chromatically on down the rest of this thing, which means every fret. Okay, so you can play the B string like I did, or you can play the B and the E string, which is even cooler actually. Okay, and it goes great coming back up too. Okay, so you can see how that can be used. And don't be afraid to go way off the charts with these things, even though I'm showing you very basic stuff. Going. Go back and just make it your own. Okay, that's just using some of the notes from what I did. Okay, so think of these things. The other ones being, let's look at credence things always work great and everything, and that's just the typical. Okay, that is, so you're using an E7, so you're going to 4th fret on B, 3rd fret on, 4th fret on G, 3rd fret on B. Okay, that's taking it back a whole step, meaning 2 frets. Okay, let's straighten that one out while we can, just to make it major instead of minor. Okay, that's actually going to go 2 and 2. Okay, so 4 and 3, 2 and 2. And then you can do that, a hammer on your G string first one, and leave your B string ringing. Okay, so nothing out of the ordinary, except for it's just something that you may not think about. Also use the 7th that we did, but add your ring finger to the 4th fret on the high E string, so you get a complete E7. Okay, and slide into that. Okay, and do it some with just sliding back and forth without using your pick at all. Okay, does it border on disco? And it borders on funk. Okay, so whatever be your thing. Okay, so that's a great one just to stick in. Okay, another one is just the octaves. I'm going to keep flying, folks, so rewind if you need to. Up to the 9th fret on the G string and go into the octave, 12th fret on the high E. We got a low E. I'm muting the B string with the underneath side of my 1st finger. So G string, 9th fret. Then I'm muting the B string with the meat. That's right, my meat underneath of that one. So it's B string does nothing. Then grabbing the high E. And then doing the same thing an octave higher with the 7th chord. Okay, so you're at 16, 15, 16. So an octave higher than this. Okay, so there's some quick E stuff for you. Okay, let's don't forget also just the good old I'm sure somebody has a name for it and somebody will write it down and it'll be 50 lines long and whatever. It's the Hendrix chord. Put it in there. Tab type of stuff. 0 on the E. A is on 7. 6 on D. 7 on your G. 8 on your B. Okay. And then open E. Okay. It's just another great chord to toss in whenever. You could just be totally bored, but it can force everything to change. And that's what's cool. Just you could be doing country as heck. You know, just break into some kind of spaz thing. Another one are your 9th chords. Quickly, if you don't know them. Same type of tab thing again. A string is going to go to the E, which is going to be 7. Just watch my fingers, kids. 7 on the A, 6 on the D, 7 on the G, and then flatten out everything so that that finger on the 7th fret covers your G, B, and E string. Okay, so there's an E9. Okay, so it's just a slight variation by one note of the Hendrix chord. But it's just taking that pinky, going back 1 fret, and then flattening it so you can actually go on the high E string. So it's easier just to do it with 3 fingers. And that 9th chord is great to use anywhere from the key of C. Okay, the A is always going to dictate whichever place that chord has to go. So you're on E9. So you start with the E. It's always going to start here on the A string. Okay, so if you're doing C, Yeehaw, okay. But if you're going to be doing some funky stuff and you want to go to C9, that is automatic groove material. Okay, so that's just groovy stuff to go to, those ninth chords. It's great to slide up into them, or okay, it's just one of those things that you can get outside the box. Okay, that's what I call the ex-wife. The box. Drink it if you got it. Okay, now let's go to A just for fun. Why? Because it's after E usually. Okay, so you're in A. Quick ones that are always fun are sixth chords. These are definitely country, or if you have a creative brain, you can finagle them into anything you want. Okay, let's do an F chord. Move it up to the A position, which means take this whole thing, hey, and bring it so your fingers that are covering your E and B string are up to the 5th fret. Finish your F chord. Okay, there you go, you got an A chord. Okay, you can do that anywhere, any place. There's an F, there's an E, F, G, A, B, C, D, back to E. Okay, so do it anywhere. But with the lovely pinky you have left over, just shove it right here on the 7th fret on the B string. And this will be an A6. Okay, get this camera just a little more. Okay, this one has been taught to death, but it is a beautiful one. Again, like I said, more towards the country end. You people who are creative, do something else with it because it is this cool. It's a very Western swing, okay? So it will lend itself to some very cool Western swing stuff, and then some really avant-garde stuff. Okay, so you can actually do this. Okay, so that's taken me from an A to an A7. Even though the whole chord went down to this G thing, it's just like going to an A7. Okay, let's start with it that easy. Now you go up to D, up to E, E7, and I go behind the A 1 fret, back to your A. Okay, so what the hell's going on there, Scott? Okay, I am manipulating this A 6th chord. I'm playing each note, doing one pick movement. Watch my picking hand. Next string, next string. Okay, so okay, so if you are familiar with the phrasing of steel guitars, whether they be lap or pedal steel, Hawaiian, anything, that takes you to A7. Even though it takes you down to G, that's still a G sus6, which is actually a fancy version of A7. So remember that. It's great to go 1 fret before the chord, so we're going to go D flat. Okay, now we're up to D. Now, before I go to E, typical country thing. So I'm going back to D flat, D, D sharp, E, Now I'm going to E7, not the D. So the whole band's still in E. Okay, so get those all over the place. It's just that easy. Make an F chord, move it to where it needs to go, put your pinky directly below your ring finger, skip the G string, it goes on the B string. Okay, and you go from the A6 to regular A, looks like a D chord. Bring it up to where it's A. So it's 7, 7, and put, I'm sorry, 9 and 9, and then 10. So it's just a D chord, moved up to 9, 9, and 10. So you have this. Okay, so at the end of a song. Okay. Okay, so you see how groovy that can be. Also a cool little thing in A, if you're just jamming along, are the chords that you can find. I'm gonna wait for those. Let's see. For anybody who don't know, real quick, because some people know these, some don't, and it won't take long. If you're playing an A, please put your pinky up here now and then. Cover your B and E string on the 5th fret. Just makes for cooler sounds when you're going for a 7th chord. And just totally different flavor if you guys haven't got that. Then okay. And if you're going to a D, you don't have to go to regular D. You can just go from A. Okay, so you just put down on your B string, 3rd fret, and on your D string, 4th fret. There's D, D sharp, E, A, D. Okay, so I'll show you other places to get chords at that are very easy. Okay, so A. Okay, you don't have to go to a D just because the band or whoever you're playing with or whatever your situation is going to the D. You can do it as what's called a passing chord. It's just part of vamping in A. Okay, so nobody else has to switch to D. It's just something to do. Okay? Okay. Okay. Easy enough. I'll show you some other things on that in a little bit. Another thing that is cool is you can use this in any key. Of course, everything I show you, you can pretty much use in any key. Very simple lick. This one I've taught 80 or 90 times. You're going to do this. Okay, get one finger ready back here and stay on the 2nd fret. So you're going 5, pull off the 2, 5 on B string, and pull off the 2. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. So 5, pull off the 2 on the high E string, then your B string 5th fret, back to your 2nd string E. Now, okay, tension. It's a beautiful thing. Dissonance is another word. When they're 1 fret apart from each other, but it has a definite purpose. Okay. Same thing on the next 2 strings. Now, okay, which is on the G string. They're all slide dance. Slide, pull off. Then D string 4 and 2 pull off. And then hit the G string. You're already there on the 2nd fret. There's the exact phrasing I use 90% of the time when I play it. You do what you want. You're like, what's that? That's what we've already learned. But you can slide from 4 to 5. That gives you the more modern stuff, you know, that everybody's doing. Even your Brad Paisleys and stuff, they like to use real dissonant, close notes like that. Okay, well, that's a groovy one in A. Another one, if you're just an A, if you're playing slow or fast, doesn't matter, or half-fast. It's just this. Okay? That's it. Cover up your A and your B string, that finger, go up 2 frets and come back. It's 5th fret, 7th fret, back to the 5th. See there, I'm using the A and the D, but everybody's just staying in A. So I slide up on the B string, and then I hit the E string and bring and let it all ring. So okay, so any way you want to do them both together. Depends on what you're doing. Those are the songs where you can get into the like a type stuff, but that little lick can just be very cool, especially in slow tunes. Okay, so that's just a really cool thing too. Slow that down if you need it. You really don't need it, trust me, unless you just want these. Then okay, so we did some little stuff in A. Nice thing about this stuff, say you're in the key of A and you go up to the E. I've shown this one quite a few times too, but again, everybody needs reminding. Getting from E back to A. Okay, this can be used any key. Again, for those of you who know it, don't spoil it for the people who don't. Okay, they're just too lazy to go back and look at the good old stuff. Okay, you're in A. You're going to D, like the way I showed you. Okay. What? Okay, that's what I'm here to show you. Okay, just make your A here. Take it all the way up to your E, because you go to E. It's a way to get you past doing this, and I'll show you that too, because it's very easy. Again, rewind, because I'm flying through this stuff. So you're in E, you're D, you're back to E, now you're back to A, D, back to A, now you're in E, and you want to come back full circle back to your 1 chord, or your A. So you want to take that chord, move it all the way up to the 9th fret, which is E, bring it back 2, so you're on the 7th fret, that's your D chord. Now we're going to do, so that's major, E major, D major, C sharp minor, which is going to be, okay, which is going to end up being 6, 6, and 5. We're still keeping all 3 strings, so the D, G, B string, C sharp minor, 6, 6, and 5. Now that whole thing, a whole step, meaning 2 frets, so B minor, and major again, back to A. So you got your E, D, C sharp minor, B minor, A, D, A. Okay. Okay, and you can think about that later on, what chords they were. You just heard me saying them, so you could play the whole chords if you want, but it sounds cooler up here. And those were E, D, C sharp minor, B minor. But unless the bass is doing it and everybody else, it sounds gross, so it wouldn't work. So your best thing to do is get up as high as you can. Same thing would be these. Okay, same thing. So you can be doing, let's just get it easy. See. So I'm looking for E, D, help me out here, Scott. Okay, duh. Okay, if you want to do it in normal ones, I'm used to doing it just 2, and I'll show you both ways. I know you have no idea what I'm talking about, but let's do the 3 chord or the 3 note chords. So 12, I'm going from the E string up to the G string, and you're going to stay on these 3 strings. 12, 12, 13. So that's E minor, go down a whole step to D minor. Okay, so you're at 10, 10, 11. We're going to 9, 9, 9 for the C sharp minor. Whole step. Okay, and you can also just do, leave out the B string. So let's go 11 and 12. Then you go into 11, I'm sorry. So this was 13 and 12, sorry, my bad. 11 and 10, 9 and 9, 9 and 9, and 6 and 5. Okay, again, I probably said something wrong, I'm sure I did. 13 and 12, 11 and 10, 9 and 9, 7 and 7. I could use a 7 and 7 if I drank, and then a 6 and a 5. Gets you back to A. Okay, so use those. Okay, see how everything flows along? Okay, beautiful stuff. Okay, let's go to the key of, I don't care, let's go to G. Yeah, exactly. Okay, same thing here, a bunch of just quick stuff that you can use. I know you can. I use it all the time. And again, I'm going to try to do a couple of these that are kind of out of the ordinary, but they're kind of cool. And okay, so in G. Okay, so you've always got leaving the F sharp back there ready to go. It's just move up the finger that's down on your A string. Okay, and always use, cover up your B string with your ring finger on the 3rd fret. Just sounds much better than, it's just an ugly chord, the straight G chord. So, just always sounds better. I don't know anybody who's a pro that does regular G chords, unless it's absolutely written in stone on a chart somewhere. It's just an ugly, ugly chord. Okay, I know it shouldn't be, but it is. hey, here's to you. Do I ever wash this glass? Hell no. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. The ultimate that I always do on this one is just the pull-offs. Okay, we're going 3, 2, open. On. Okay, so 3, 2, open, 3, 2, open, 3, 2, open. Okay. I find that one to be one of the coolest ways to do it. Then back up. Then open G. Okay, so you actually so that's the actual real time. You're like, what? That's it. Practice it on your own. Here it goes one more time, then I'm skipping. That's another one. Sliding up to the 5th fret on the D string. That's a G, hit your G string. Then 3rd fret, G string. 2nd fret, open. Then, or, which I like, open 2nd, 3rd. Okay, that's getting the D and G string in there. Okay. Again. My bad. Okay, that's me doing the horse gallop. Okay. Okay. You can carry it all the way down if you want to. Another fun one, just because it's fun, I think it's fun, is trying to use one finger and impress all the girls who are actually watching your fingers, and more girls watch them than don't. If you actually got some major vibrato, you know what I'm talking about? Of course you do. Okay, G string and D string. Okay, same thing, same idea, 5th fret. Okay, so we're going to build G. Okay, so we're doing the root and the 3rd. Okay, so we're going to do open D, which is your 5th, then your root, then let it go. Then we're doing open G string, 4th fret, and let it open again. That's what we're going to do on every single thing. So it's 5 on the D string, 4 on the G. Now we're going to do 5 and 5. Now we're going to do 5 and 7. Now 5 and 5. Now 5 and 4. Okay, those are just something that are for show. Okay, so you do it with all one finger and it's really cool. I know you can do it. It's easy if you do that, but it's just a cool one to toss in real quick. let's see, so we're in G. Anything else I want to throw in G? And I realize I can't do a bunch of bends because I'm using an acoustic guitar, but it's quiet enough to keep peace here at the house when the lovely wife is sleeping. Okay, and I can still put out some kind of a lesson for you. Okay, so in G, those are just some cool things, and of course, always use your harmonics. Okay. And remember, you can still use these from Mr. Doyle Dykes, D-O-Y-L-E-D-Y-K-E-S. Shows you how to do all these bends. That's right, going in between the first and second key, okay, on your tuners. Then okay, so you don't have to go down because the headstock's pitched back, so you can't get those notes like you do on a Fender. So okay, very cool stuff there. So if you do the over the nut bend, but you sneak right between the two keys, use a couple of fingers because them things are heavy duty strings, so just push them down towards the floor or up toward the ceiling, depending on which way, not towards the headstock because there's no room there. So those are cool. Okay, so we did the G. I'm trying to think if there's anything really cool there that we need to do other than the obvious for those who are very sheltered and haven't just known to go G and just drop the 2 for your C. Okay, then kind of an F, C, G. Okay, so you got 2 glued together. Just watch them. G, drop those 2 down, C. Now you got your F, so that's 2 plus a 5. Okay, so as many times as you can always do that kind of thing, or E. Do it, you know, like we did with the G. Do it with the E. Okay, so drop things and check out what they can do for you. Okay, so there's our G. Let's do C. Why not? Okay, so if we're doing C stuff, thing I like about C is just strictly if I'm finger picking or just picking, is just to do the straight scale thing, but using your pinky on the high E string, going to 3rd fret, then flatten out. Okay, so you're doing just that. You're, instead of an F, you're just flattening out your first finger, covering the F note. So you've got G, I'm sorry, C, but you put your G on there. Flatten, regular chord. Now we're going to put it on the 3rd fret on the B string. Okay. Okay. It just comes in really handy, and especially if you're finger picking, it's just stuff that's cool just to have those notes right there. It's just one of those chords that has lots of places for your pinky to go. It's another one of those 2. You can just drop 2 fingers and make it into an F. Rod Stewart, Tonight's the Night. If you remember that song, anybody old enough, was just C. And if you just take those 2 fingers down, you get F, major 7, but it's a okay, but in C we just have some cool stuff. A minor. Just got some great stuff to use there. Again, don't forget using our finger to play every chord that we can. So again, A, here's C. Don't forget to use your pinky, just 3 frets up, and this to go from C to F. Now here's where I wanted to show you the 5 chord, or the G after it, C, F, G. C, F, of course G, you can just move it up. Okay, so that's the other place, is to just do an F chord, or an F-shaped chord, but put it where the G would be, so just move it up. So your high E string actually determines where you're going to be at, so just there, or on your D string, which will be the G. Whatever works for you. So C, F, G, F, and change it up. C, F, G, F, C, F, G, F, C, F, G, F, C, F, G, C, F, G, F, C. You know, just play them everywhere you possibly can. Who are we leaving out? D. Cool thing in D is a little known lick that I like to use. It just incorporates a couple open strings where you normally wouldn't have an idea to do so. Except for the typical stuff everybody always knows. Okay, of course there was a little bit of More Than a Feeling by Boston in there. Okay, so of course you know that everybody does those right off the bat. Again, that's just a C note, B note, okay, in D, okay, there's a lot of fake out things because D has some groovy things waiting for you. Okay, those are going to be very southern rockish or countryish, or depending on how you play them, they could be anything you want, but those are just 3rd frets on your A and D string. Or go 3, 2, open on both of them. Then grab that F, wiggle it, bring it, but we're not tuned down to a drop D, but it sounds like it if you have a bass player. If you're doing that type of thing, you can maybe go down and grab a D or what have you, but it gives you the illusion that you're going to go down there. It's from Country Boy Can't Survive, Hank Jr., if you want to look it up. I feel like taking drugs. Okay, little open string thing. Open E. Okay, that's the 1st fret. Pull off on the B. This is still in D. So you're doing doing a pull off on the 1st fret, 2nd fret on the G string, then 3rd fret on the D string. So you can remember it's okay. So that's open E, and then everything else is just 1st fret, pull off, 2nd fret, and 3rd fret. So you can mess with the phrasing. Okay, you can see that. That one. And don't forget, 7th fret. It's always cool, showmanship wise, just to go with your 1st finger, hit the 3 middle strings or your D, G, B strings. Okay. At the end of a song, always cool. Again, we get in D, we have our bends again. So you can go there again. So in D, those are great. Another trick in D, it's not a trick, it's just more harmonics. Okay, it's more actually in G, but while we're here, just for the heck of it, because it goes here. For the old doorbell thing, and actually this is at the beginning of Clock Strikes 10 by Cheap Trick. Look it up. What else you got to do? I'll play it upside down. These are only harmonics at the 12th and 7th fret. So B, G string, now D string at the 7th, and then at the 12th on the D. So you have B, G, then D, D, then backward, then again. Now if you're Cheap Trick live in Budokan, see, they Rick Nielsen screwed it up and played that. So he went live on that, live from Budokan album. He went where it's not supposed to do that, of course, but if you listen to the album version and the live version, you'll be like, oops, he screwed up. But people are allowed to screw up. We're human. So there's D. Some cool stuff there. Again, play all your... Use all the stuff I've showed you. Don't forget all the little things I put out there for you. Okay, also. Okay, all the little stuff I showed you, get them in there. I'm going to consider the F stuff being where I showed you that you can do all the. So the F shape stuff, doing the 6th chords. And you can do them anywhere in the entire world on your neck. Okay, so we did A. There's no real need to do a B, which would just be at a B7. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Hey, we've done them all, done plenty. So that's a cool little. Don't think that's the only one. I know you're gonna get thunderstruck out of that. Anyway, once again, Scott Grove, GroovyMusicLessons.com, Dr. Groovy, and yeah, I'm here. And once again, that's right, haters, you make me famous. So keep on hating. And for the folks wondering where Nigel's at, Nigel's almost ready. I've actually had to purchase a few things. to send to him where he's living. So he's coming right up. So you guys be groovy. Hope you enjoyed the little unplanned lesson. I just needed something to do between the Tonight Show and David Letterman, because I just can't stand that Seth Meyers guy. And then again, there's that whole thing wherever it is that they had the verdict on the cop that shot the black dude, and they're not going to do the you know what I'm talking about. They just announced that. So if you're watching this video and it's really old, it probably makes nothing to you, but riots in the streets. Everything they told them not to do, of course they're going to do it. Why? Because that's half the fun. Anyway, you guys be groovy, play loud, and that's it. Talk to you soon. Bye.